please sign this?" When I looked at the paper, I was shocked. "Wait, what is this?" Without faltering, Chris handed me the divorce papers. "It's clear if you look at this paper, isn't it? I want a divorce. Why all of a sudden?" "It's not sudden. I've been thinking about this for a long time. In fact, I have someone else I love, and she's pregnant with my child." "What?" It was out of the blue. I was so shocked that I just stood there speechless. Our marriage has been over for a long time, hasn't it? Indeed, things hadn't been going well between us recently, but to have an affair and a child. Wait, I just gave birth and was discharged from the hospital? We were supposed to be happy together from now on. That day was the very day I had returned from the hospital after giving birth. We were supposed to live happily as a family with our newborn. Why did this happen? I hesitated about telling you today since you just got out of the hospital, but I think it's better to tell you sooner. Besides, she's pushing me to get a divorce soon. Chris said this with a smirk. His eyes were no longer looking towards a future with our family. I was shocked at his betrayal and burst into tears. I thought, what should I do? But he unilaterally notified me of the divorce, and we separated. 5 years have passed since then. One day, at a big shopping mall, I ran into the worst person I knew, my ex. He said, "Oh, Diana, isn't it? It's been a while." I heard the voice of my ex-husband. He was the number one person I did not want to encounter. I gasped in surprise. "What's with that reaction?" "You've aged, haven't you? By the way, how have you been since the divorce? It must have been tough being a single mother." He started talking as if he were a stranger. His words were shockingly insensitive. "You abandoned us, didn't you?" While suppressing the anger welling up inside me, I retorted sarcastically. "I had the support of my family, so there was no problem at all without you. Why are you pretending to be strong? Your father, that small-town doctor, right? You couldn't have relied on such parents," Chris laughed. And while I remained silent, he began to boast about his own recent circumstances. "I got married to a female doctor afterward. She's incomparably better than a part-timer like you. My wife is competent, and she's 10 years younger than me. I live a rich and stable life. Jealous? Sorry, I'm the only one happy here." Chris spoke with an oppressive attitude, bursting into a large and rude laugh. "Oh, which hospital does your wife work at? Interested? Richardson Hospital. It's a famous medical center that just opened recently. You worked at a hospital too, right? You must have heard the name. Richardson Hospital, haha." I couldn't help but smile at my ex-husband's confident speech, because that hospital is a place very familiar to me. Fate really is ironic, isn't it? Yes, I know that hospital well, because when my ex-husband heard the truth, his face suddenly changed. "My name is Diana. My father runs a small clinic beloved by the local community, and my mother worked there as the office manager. As a doctor, my father had extremely busy days, working almost without rest for the patients who needed him. As a child, I often felt lonely due to the limited time I could spend with my family, but my admiration and respect for my father were strong. I always harbored the desire to become someone who could help many people, just like him. As an adult, I chose not to become a doctor but a nurse instead. The job of a nurse was more physically and mentally demanding than I had anticipated, and I often questioned whether I could continue in this profession for the long term. I frequently doubted whether I could build a distinguished career like the one my father had, and I struggled with anxiety and impatience. Then, a significant turning point occurred in my life. It was when I met Chris, who would later become my husband. Chris was 5 years older than me and owned a cafe near the hospital where I worked. His cafe became a place of solace for me, and during lunchtime, I would often sit at the same table, sipping coffee and brooding alone. Seeing me distressed, Chris approached me one day. "Hey, I don't know what's got you down, but drink this and cheer up a bit," he said, offering me a coffee adorned with a cute rabbit cafe art. That cup of coffee sparked new conversations between us and gradually became an opportunity for me to open up. "Here," Chris said with a smile as he handed it to me. "This one's on the house." "Come on, smile," he said with a radiant smile. His warm gesture naturally brought a smile to my face. Chris's bright and positive attitude gradually captured my heart. As I visited the cafe more often, my feelings for Chris deepened, and I felt an increasing attraction to him. About 3 months after our first meeting, I mustered the courage to ask for his contact information. He happily agreed, and from there we started dating seriously. 2 years into our relationship, Chris proposed to me. In front of my parents, he confidently declared, "I will definitely make Diana happy, so please rest assured." Moved by his sincere demeanor, I fell for him all over again and felt a deep love. My parents were also touched by Chris's earnestness and expressed their gratitude. "Thank you, please take good care of our daughter," and wholeheartedly blessed our marriage. Overwhelmed with emotion, they said, "Be happy. We're supporting you." As part of our wedding preparations, when we visited Chris's parents, they said, "Chris might be a bit unreliable, but please look after him," and gave us encouraging words. "If there's ever anything, just contact us, and we'll scold him." During our first meeting with Chris's parents, I was relieved to find them very approachable and easy to talk to. After the official greetings between both families, we had our wedding and started a joyful and fulfilling married life. Married life did come with its small grievances and difficulties, but each time we overcame them, our bond strengthened, and the happiness we felt day by day was immeasurable. Then, 2 years into our marriage, my husband made a surprising proposal. "Why don't we make your dream come true?" Chris suddenly said. "My dream? What do you mean?" I asked in surprise. "To build our own house, remember," he replied with a smile. "Really? You remembered that?" I exclaimed in surprise. "Of course. I couldn't possibly forget," he said confidently. I had mentioned wanting to build a house during a casual conversation when we were still dating. I was moved and very happy that he had remembered such a minor detail. "Thank you, Chris," I said, expressing my heartfelt thanks. Afterward, we went to a real estate agency and decided to look at various properties. Visiting the housing exhibition was a fun experience in itself. "Wow, look at this. This kitchen is fantastic." I pointed at a modern peninsula kitchen. The idea of cooking in such a spacious kitchen one day excited me. "Indeed, it's wonderful. Cooking in a kitchen like this would be fun. Diana, check out this bathroom too. Isn't it nice? It's so spacious you could relax and enjoy bath time every day," Chris said excitedly. As we joyfully viewed different properties, we expanded our dreams about our future home. We continued to visit properties on weekends, enjoying the time spent together discussing what kind of house we liked and admiring different styles. At the exhibition, we saw houses with various designs and features, discussing the pros and cons of each. While visiting the exhibition, we solidified our image of our ideal home. At one exhibition, we found a house with eco-friendly design features that fascinated us with its ecological considerations. At another, we saw a house equipped with the latest smart home technology and were impressed by its advanced features. "It would be truly wonderful to live in such a house," I exclaimed. "Yes, but realistically, We need to decide which features to prioritize, Chris responded calmly. We meticulously evaluated the features of each house, striving to find the one that best suited our lifestyle.